Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, we have the anniversary of A Day That Will Live in Infamy, but I've noticed it's mentioned less and less over the last few years. That speaks to the danger of memory fading in time. Whether for the individual or a nation, our lives are experience stories woven together, impacting on each other. The memory of those experiences sends you off in new and different directions all of the time. Never forget the past. It is what truly does help you move forward. Now, our thoughts change. Our feelings change. Our wants, needs, and goals will change too. But what never changes is we actually only have so much time. Well, the world is cruel with its twists and turns. Well, the fire's still in me and the passion burns. It doesn't matter to which God you pray. Precious time is slipping away. We have to make the most of our time. We're coming up on holiday season. Thanksgiving's always acted as the ding-ding of the bell at the boxing ring to get people rushing into Christmas time. It's that wake-up that says, I can't believe the year is almost over. And I say Christmas season, since that's what we were inundated with, but it is Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's New Year's, it's a cascading cornucopia of cultural celebration. Now, no other time of the year has the same pull on people bonding together, getting together, coming together. It is the season of light and miracles, and of course it's also Noah's birthday. Now, here is one of my favorite holiday songs. It's called Home for the Holidays, and it's something everybody wants to do, is they all want to go home for the holidays. There is Christmas no more when there is Christmas without you. The Hanukkah light doesn't bring hope or read. Seems so dark, alone it's so stark. I drift alone not knowing what to do. I call out your name and I wait for an answer as butterflies float and appear just to dance there from cocoon to freedom. I know that you've seen some amazing things that make you stop and stare, but the world's not there when you're not with me. The world's so bare. When I can't look and see, the world's not there, and I can't make it come alive. So if you cannot get together, or go see, or just be with the ones you love, call them. Tell them that you're thinking of them. It's holiday time. That little action, my friends, may be a miracle in somebody's life. And it is a miracle that I thank you for how we all come together as a like-minded group in the collective consciousness of seekers showing faith and love, a community, a chavur, a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody in, some physically, the rest digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way that you can to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Kam Kam. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Kam Kam. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. Together. So let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, this is you setting aside just a little bit of your sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. It is a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. And let's take some time now to send some of that goodwill, some light and some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. The world needs it. We all need it. Healing and renewal for everybody. Floats through space finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It is for our pets. It is for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Let's send thoughts and energy for health and renewal for everybody in need. For those in our hearts and our minds. For Frank and John. For Maria and Karen, for Adrian and Bob, for the Star Master, who I'm sure is looking forward to the great celestial show on the 21st, for Ben, Nina, for the Bee. Friends, it is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Makor HaBracha. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's send out, receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Because we're less than a week before the first of the Twin Festivals of Light, a celebration of miracles, when I think of miracles, I think of one of the miracles we all want to see. The one recorded in Isaiah 2:4. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Peace on earth, goodwill to man. And there is a Hanukkah story that's actually connected with that. It's another legend of the menorah we light during this holiday. When the Maccabees defeated the Greeks, they entered the temple and found 8 iron spears left over from the enemy. Now, because the menorah was gone, they took up these spears and used them to build a makeshift lamp, a celebration. They stuck candles in those spears. They kindled them. So the Maccabees used leftover weapons, perhaps weapons that killed others, to build a sacred lamp. As Isaiah says, even weapons can be beaten into tools to sow and to plant. By turning these spears into vessels for light, the people signal their readiness to put aside war and begin to rebuild. And that too is a miracle, and that's what we can all continue to do. Hanukkah is a festival of freedom, and it's important to remember that while at times we may need to fight for freedom, at other times we're more likely to win true freedom by becoming peacemakers. Now, for those of you who aren't sure, Hanukkah is not mentioned in the Tanakh, the Bible. Right, so that settles it for you. Not mentioned at all. The events of the Maccabean revolt against the Syrian Greeks are chronicled in near contemporary writings in what's known as the Book of the Maccabees. But they were not included among the Kitvei HaKodesh, the holy writings. Now, this omission is very strange, given that every other festival, including Purim, the events of which occurred only a few centuries earlier, are referred to in the context of a book of the Tanakh. What is also astonishing is that of all the early books that describe the origins of the festival, none of them refer to the miracle of the jar with sufficient pure oil to last for just one day, but which miraculously burned for 8. That story that we teach everyone is only mentioned in the much later record of the Talmud that I told you about last week. So unlike previous festivals recorded in the Torah, or Purim is recorded in the book of Esther, Hanukkah was not imposed at one time by any divining authority or higher sign-on. It actually had a very long and difficult gestation period until it finally took the form that we know and love. And that explanation of it, namely the miracle of the oil, actually won out over several other explanations, such as the one I just gave you before. So there's a little Hanukkah fact you weren't aware of. So get ready for Hanukkah. And while there are so many Christmas songs and so few Hanukkah ones, here's what became a Hanukkah song. It was a rip-off of a Christmas song redone for Hanukkah. It was a classic, and it was released by the Jimmies. I want a hippopotamus for Hanukkah. Only hippopotamus will do. Don't want a doll, no dinky tinker toy. Want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy. I want a hippopotamus for Hanukkah. Don't think anyone will lie to you. Won't have to use a dirty chimney flute. Just bring him through the front door. It's the easy thing to do. Now, who wouldn't want a hippopotamus for Hanukkah? This week we read the last of a three-part series on Jacob. Now, he doesn't disappear, my friends, but the future emphasis is much more about his children, his 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel, much more so than about him. And, of course, those are going to center around his most famous son, Joseph, the dream weaver. This week we read Vayishlach, and he sent. Now, as we have seen to this point in the Bible, each week there's so much that can be addressed. This week's no different. We have the story of Jacob wrestling the angel. He has his name changed to Israel. He settles in Shechem. We read about his one daughter and what has been referred to as the rape of Dinah. His final son Benjamin is born, and his beloved wife Rachel dies. His father Isaac dies, and the incident that triggered the entire 20-year sojourn is brought full circle with the great reunion of Jacob with his brother Esau. Now, Jacob is deceived and schemed and been motivated by fear from when we first met him. He purposely demanded his brother's birthright, stole his blessing, lied to his father, who he feared would see through the deception and curse him. Then he feared his brother for what he did. No wonder he fled. But has he changed? This week you will see him continue in this vein. And again, there are certainly things that may seem out of order. But remember, this may be a history, but as we have seen, it is not a chronological history. Now, he spent a precious amount of time in servitude to his uncle, building great wealth. Now he stealthily is fleeing. He's on the road. He's leaving with that great wealth, and he's heading home. And that's, where we now pick up the story. Sunlight shining in your eyes as I face the desert skies, and my thoughts return to home. Yes, my thoughts return to home. I'm just a child of nature. I don't need much to set me free. I'm just a child of nature. I'm one of nature's children. Now, he was a child of his nature. He was a creature of habit. But the nature and habits we've seen, not necessarily the best. But people are not just what you see. Unless you take the time to know someone, let them know you. It's a glimpse and a guess. Genesis 32:4. And Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to Esau his brother, to the land of Seir, the territory of Edom. The messengers came back to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother, to Esau, and also he's coming to you with 400 men with him." Now, how do you think that news that his brother was coming to him went over? Genesis 32:8. Jacob was very afraid. He had anguish. He divided the people who were with him, the sheep and the oxen and the camels, into two camps. And he said, "If Esau will come to one camp and strike it, then the camp that is left will survive. Save me from my brother's hand, from Esau's hand, because I fear him." So he sends an offering ahead to try and appease his brother. And he split his goods, just in case. Then he splits them very deliberately, just like everything else he has done. He is deliberate, as we saw with the birthright and his father's deception. Just in case. He wants to buy off his brother's anger and hatred. But now he split his loot, sent it across the river. Genesis 32:23. And he got up in that night and took his 2 wives and 2 maids and his 11 boys and crossed the Jabbok ford. There's only 11 boys. Benjamin's not been born yet, and you will notice his daughter Dinah is not mentioned. She was born. Is this about the value of the female or the relative importance of his daughter that he puts in his life? We don't know. And Jacob was left by himself, and a man wrestled with him until the dawn's rising. Now, this is usually talked about as Jacob wrestling an angel. The prophet Hosea refers to this moment. It says he fought with God, and he fought with an angel, and was able. Was able, meaning he held his own. Now, just like no one knows who Azazel is in the Yom Kippur scapegoat sacrifice, No one is sure who or what Jacob actually fought with. Whether it's an angel, a night demon, there's all kinds of writings about this. But they fight to a draw. The sun is rising, and this creature he's fighting cannot be, the sunlight sounds almost like a vampire. So the man says to Jacob, he's got to let him go. And Jacob demands a blessing in exchange. Genesis 32:27, he said, let me go because the dawn has risen. And he said, I won't let you go unless you bless me. He demands a blessing, the constant bargainer. And he said to him, what's your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, your name won't be Jacob anymore, but Israel, because you've struggled with God and with people and were able. Now, Israel means struggled with God. And who of us has not? So think of it as a term, not just as a geographical place. Abram's name was changed to Abraham. It was permanent. Sarai became Sarah forever. But you're going to notice the Bible shift between Jacob and Israel on an ongoing basis. Why? Why not a permanent name change? Share your thoughts. It's again your opportunity to think about what the Torah has to say. So Jacob lets him go. Genesis 33:1. Jacob raised his eyes and look. Here was Esau coming. 400 men with him. And he divided the children among Leah and Rachel and the two maids. And he placed the maids and their children first, and Leah and her children following, and Rachel and Joseph following last. Now don't forget the maids were also wives. But you see that he puts them in the order in which he's prepared to sacrifice them. Joseph and Rachel last. The most important, the only ones he actually loved. It makes you wonder what message he's giving the others. And do we give those messages out to our kids? He did this out of fear. Perhaps we let our fear dictate. And when we do, we project what we would do if it were reversed. Right? Because he's doing all the things that he would have done if he was, coming after somebody. Then a very strange thing happens. Genesis 33:4. And Esau ran to him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him and wept. Esau wept. Jacob did not. Esau did not hate his brother. He loved him. He'd forgiven his brother for stealing the birthright, the blessing, and even the love of his mother. He is the first great example of the power of the forgiveness ritual, that great gift of God that we all have. He developed the trait we all should be emulating. Jacob's fear dictated the steps he would take if it were him pursuing his own hated enemy. And Esau wants to travel with his brother, to go together. But Jacob begs off, saying he will slow them down because of the kids. This is nothing but more deception. So he says, I'll meet you back at Seir. And Esau offers to leave some men with him. But this offer to post men with Jacob's not attracted to him. Jacob has just told Esau that he will meet him at Seir. But in fact, the next two verses report that Esau does go back home to Seir. But Jacob goes in a completely different direction and heads off to Sukkot to be away from Esau. He is always fearful. He's always scheming. And our sages tell us Esau was pure evil, but none of the actual written accounts support that position. It seems just the opposite, like the bizarro world of Superman. Yes, the world is sacred. So's everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light. All who live in the light continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this community ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself, maybe especially yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives and our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our Kavana, our cause or effect. Everything's linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land, your home. Keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go, and work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief. Never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have too. We share together, we learn together, and we each help each other, because we're each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. Remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They can hurt you, but they can heal you. They can imprison you, but they can free you. Forgive those you need to forgive, and ask forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And listen to the voice of God and his angels as they talk to you. You have an angel with you right now. You do not have to fight with them. Beat your swords at the plowshares and keep noting the miracles of your life and continue to share them. It's always a good time to forgive, to make amends, express your love, gratitude, and the joy to the people in your life. And while Jacob never learned, wealth cannot buy your way out of karma or love. Can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so. Can't buy me love. No, 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 no. If you if you say you need to, may not have a lot to give, but what I got, I'll give to you. I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love. Well, thank you for joining me, my friends. Have a great week. Get ready for Hanukkah. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself. This is the season of miracles. Enjoy the miracles in your life. They are there. Believe in them. And I will see you all soon. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.